Fighting blight in Detroit's neighborhoods is one of the biggest projects the city is undertaking. Recently, I had the opportunity to look at the steps the city is taking to tear down blighted buildings and how those living in the neighborhoods feel about the changes. A demolition crew at work in northwest Detroit. This one crew will knock down up to 10 houses in a day. Ronald Garrison lives next door to this one, vacant for years. Trespassers looted it of anything of value.
The man down the street boarded it up, and they used to come rip the boards off and still go back in there, and he'd have to come board it up again.
The numbers are in. There are nearly 80,000 dilapidated structures across the city of Detroit. A number so high because of scrappers, vandals tearing everything of value out of vacant properties, leaving them open to the elements. Once there's structural damage, the houses have to come down.
Oh, yeah.
The scrapping is so rampant, Derek Watts says even inhabited homes can be targets.
You have to watch your house even if you go on vacation. You can go on vacation and come back and your house be scrapped. So you got to watch it really 24 hours a day, you know. Because that's the thing now. That's the hustle now.
With the city bankrupt and operating under an emergency manager, Detroit's new mayor, Michael Duggan, is focusing on the demolition of the tens of thousands of houses stripped beyond repair.
And what kind of speed are we seeing, and what are the numbers that we're seeing?
Well, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, the city has historically knocked down maybe 50 houses a week. We're now knocking down 200 to 250 every single week.
Before Duggan, the city's demolition plan had been slowed by bureaucracy. Duggan took office in January. He says his new team has been able to streamline the demolition program. Now residents like Kai Belcher are seeing action.
I came home one day, these two houses was down first. Then my mother and them said they was coming back for the other ones because they had the paper up. So I was, sure that they was going to come back and take care of the rest of them. So it's pretty good.
Last year, the Obama administration and Michigan Governor Rick Snyder helped create the Detroit Blight Task Force. The task force brought together government, foundations, and private groups, some for the first time. Glenda Price co-chaired the task force. She says when everyone started working together, things started to happen.
That you did not see impact because there was no concentrated strategy to go neighborhood by neighborhood where you could actually see a difference.
And you finally have it.
And we finally have it. You can't do one house on the east side, one house in Brightmoor, one house someplace else, and feel as though you've made a difference. You do 3 houses on one block, and by golly, you have made a difference.
So you have a staggering number of blighted properties. I can only understand that there would be a staggering price tag to go with it, to remove them.
Approximately $1 billion.
The city has some of that money in the bank, but it's nowhere near enough to remove all the blight, which is estimated to take 5 years.
Where does the money come from a city that's going through a bankruptcy process?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And so the first $50 million came from the federal government in TARP funds. And I got an application in now for another $50 million. And I think if the federal government continues to see the progress we're making, they'll be supportive.
In the fight against blight, technology is key.
Now click Blext Property.
Citizens are using a smartphone app that tracks changes in their neighborhoods for better or worse. It's called Blexting, short for blight texting. This is the crowdsourcing of information and comes courtesy of a couple of young Detroit entrepreneurs. Sandra Yu does community outreach for the program.
Loveland Technologies is a tech startup in Detroit, and they just geeks about property and wanting property to be used for the highest and best use.
Norma Heath is president of the West Euclid Block Club in the Midtown area of the city.
But this is a way that you know how to to see who owned the property. You see everything that you need to know.
We want Blexting to be part of what it means to be a citizen. You mow your lawn, you take out the trash, you Blex properties in your neighborhood.
and I hover over here.
Monique Tate of the nonprofit group Data Driven Detroit hosts some of the Blexting boot camps, training residents across the city.
So having this kind of information available leads to exactly what we want, data-driven decisions. So community groups can decide where are we going to focus our efforts and our attention, because they can easily pull up on the public dashboard a map of their specific neighborhood to see where are the vacancies.
What we recommended and what they are attempting to do is look at what we're defining as tipping point neighborhoods. Those neighborhoods where a little investment will stop the decline.
This is the Marygrove neighborhood, one of the Detroit neighborhoods that's at the tipping point. There's lots of streets just like this one, where you've got homes that are well taken care of, but sandwiched in between others that are vacant and run down. The city is now aggressively targeting homeowners, either clean up your property or lose it. And they're also offering incentives for people to buy homes like this one, to move in and to stay here. The backbone of the community is Marygrove College, here since before the Great Depression. The college is still going strong, but the 2008 recession has done its damage to the housing stock. Gloria Mitchell moved to Marygrove in 1978.
When people talk about Detroit blight and some of the neighborhoods that are up and down, how would you describe how your neighborhood and your street fits into that?
It fits right in the middle. We have quite a mix here now, where it went from working class, it's now retirees, former working people, it's families, new, old. It's everything here.
This Marygrove home is about to be seized by the Detroit Land Bank Authority. The land bank has been in operation for years with little notice. Now, the mayor has hired more staff, including attorneys, computer techs, and a communications director. Craig Foley left Detroit Public Radio to join the team.
Well, the Detroit Land Bank Authority, it's pretty simple, really. We are a place that is a clearinghouse for vacant property in the city of Detroit. Our goal is to either sell it to somebody that wants to live in it, auction it off to get somebody to live in it, and if we don't have any other options, we will demolish the property.
The properties to be auctioned are shown on the Land Bank website.
48201.
For city government, getting all this online is a new frontier.
We like to say that we sort of are building the car at the same time we're building the assembly line. So we really have to adapt and learn from each other and find new strategies, frankly, to get people back into the neighborhoods.
The Land Bank has started a pilot project called the Forgivable Grants Program. In Marygrove, suburban-based Talmer Bank is putting up seed money for home buyers, money it does not expect to be repaid. Patrick Irvin runs the bank's grant program.
We decided the best thing that we can do to participate is money. And so we stepped forward and we're going to give $1 million of our money in these grants that are forgivable grants for people who want to live in this neighborhood with their families and be here for a long period of time.
Here, auction winners can receive up to $25,000 to fix up their homes if they promise to live in them for 5 years.
Oh, wow, first try.
In Marygrove, Jay Meeks takes possession of the house he won for just over $8,000.
It's structurally solid on the outside. It's a decent size. I like it.
Meeks is 29, an upwardly mobile PhD student who grew up nearby. He lived on the East Coast, but recently returned home.
So this isn't Midtown, this isn't downtown, but this is Northwest Detroit. We are up here, and I'm excited about the opportunity for great things to come and my ability to contribute to them. So,
if the Marygrove pilot project works, other parts of Detroit might get financial incentives like this one. That is, if the city can recruit more charitable lenders to bring more people back into the neighborhoods.